Hello, good afternoon. It's Alison, the occupational therapist up at Pendleside Hospice. This afternoon as well, I just want to spend some time just looking at top tips just to help us stay well while we're having to socially isolate and socially distance ourselves. It's a difficult time for us all, and I just wanted to help perhaps for some of you who are particularly finding it difficult and having to spend long periods of time inside, perhaps because you're shielding, or perhaps because you've made a deliberate decision just to stay nice and safely at home during these unprecedented times during the virus. So it's just to give you some hints and tips to help you manage these times when we're spending much longer at home. It's difficult for us all when we perhaps have lost routines that we normally had. I know you're probably missing coming up to Pendleside and coming up to the day unit, and it provided structure and routine for your week, and suddenly a lot of that's gone, and things like going out shopping and meeting friends and family, a lot of that is just all gone for now. We're hoping that it won't be long before we can start meeting again and getting back together again. But in the meantime, I just thought it might help you if we did some few tips and hints to help you along the way. So one of the important things to do is to try and establish a daily routine. So that's things that provide structure and purpose to your day. So it might be that for some people, routine is very strict, and there's certain things that you'll do at certain times of the day. But for others of you, that might be quite a new thing, a new way of doing things. And so for you, it is around what will work for me. And we're all individual in that, in what that you will find that will help you. So it might be that you try and set your alarm to get up at the same time every day. It might be that you keep it the same. It might be that you allow yourself a bit longer in bed. It might just depends on whether you found that how your sleep has been affected. That's another story, and that could be another session. I know Jeanette and myself are thinking about doing a session on sleep and managing sleep, so depending on that as to what time you get up. But obviously we have our routines that we have normally there in terms of things that we need to do, like showering, making meals, and things like that, which is well to try and keep in the same place. If you're a person that showers in the morning, have your shower in the morning still. Have your meals at the same time every day. Obviously under government restrictions, things are changing all the time. To begin with, we were only allowed out for one walk a day. If you feel well enough to do that, get out for a walk. Things are now changing with that, and that we're allowed to go out as many times as we like. It might be that you have a dog, in which the dog's going to need walking, so that's a brilliant routine to have, is to keep up that daily routine of taking the dog out. If you're one who's not feeling well enough to go out and about, it's finding routines in the house. So there's various ways. It might be that you want to watch a quiz show at the same time every day on the television, or have a set time of day when you perhaps watch a film or something on the television that you can keep in that routine. It might be that you have a hobby or an interest that you can do. It might be that you do a daily crossword, and have a set time of the day when you do that sort of thing. The other things which we will touch on again later will be things that you do, like calling family. So it might be that you have a set time for a video call or a telephone call with a family member or a neighbour or friend or someone, and you can ask them to try and ring you at the same time every day, just to help again with that daily routine. So there's lots of different ways that you can look at putting that structure into your day that can just help, that feels like you know what's going on each day, and you don't feel you're getting up each day and think, well, what on earth am I going to do today? Which is what we want to try and get away from, to help you cope better in this time. So balance your weekly routine as well, so a good mix of stuff. So it might be that if you're feeling well enough, there's things you can do around the house. So those are jobs and the chores that need doing around the house. If you're lucky enough to have a garden, It might be that you can get out and do some jobs and chores in the garden, but there's things that you might want to do in the house as well. So, you know, whatever it is, it might be, you know, trying to do a bit of vacuuming and then having a sit down. So it's again trying to balance things out during the week, things that you do. It might be there's things that you look forward to. It might be that, you know, we've talked already about phone calls. It might be there's certain people that you only catch up with once a week, and that's a special thing that you can, and especially if you're good at technology, it might be that you're tuning into some of our stuff here at Pendleside, like our 2:30 tea and chat, or the quizzes, or the Tai Chis, or the live Zoom things that you can link in with, that you can set time aside to make that a bit of a priority in your day, to just give yourself something different to do. Think about regular activities that are most important to you, and what's important about those activities for you. Is there things that you can adapt to do at home? So there might be that there's things that you've loved doing. It might be that you enjoy going out and about a lot more, and perhaps getting out into the countryside, and you haven't been able to do that as much. What can we do to bring the countryside in? What elements of that? It might be that there's programs that you can watch on the television. I mean, I know at the moment, talking to today in beginning of June, we've got Spring Watch on. Great way of linking into what's going on in nature and happening. It might be that there's programs, other programs that you can watch, nature programs, or programs about the countryside or areas of Britain that you find helpful, and watch and help that. It might be that you can find things to do, like trying to grow something in the house, like grow a tomato plant or a sunflower, or some vegetables that you can just little grow in pots, or have a go at growing some herbs that you can keep in the kitchen. Little things like that. You know, if you've got family that can help with this, that can bring things in for you, just to change that routine and help you find new things to do and look at new avenues. I've heard of lots of people have taken up new hobbies and crafts during this time. Colouring, painting. I've brought myself a watercolour set. I haven't got around to trying it yet, but like that's that sort of thing, you know. And if you want any help with any of that, then feel free to contact us here at Pendleside. And no, Gemma would love to help you. You know, if you think you just fancy having a go at this or that craft, it might be we've got some things here that we can perhaps arrange for someone to come and collect, or give you ideas of where you can get hold of things, craft and hobby ideas. But now's a brilliant time to try a new skill, learn a new language, says Alison, who probably wouldn't get on very well with that. Doing jigsaws, as I say, I've mentioned the indoor gardening, and various other things that we can do just to help us along. I'm just going to get some water, because I'm a bit croaky now. So I think another really important thing to do is to identify things that trigger, that might lower your mood, and things to avoid doing. One of the things can be doing too much of watching things like the news at the moment. You know, when you've got a lot of sad and news that you're hearing every day, then that can actually lower your mood and can heighten your levels of anxiety, especially if you're worrying about what's going on and what's going on with the virus. So I would actually say actively avoid that, and that can help an awful lot. But if you recognise these triggers, then there's sometimes things you can do about it. You know, raise it with family and friends. You know, if there's things that you're particularly struggling with, please talk to people. Please, you know, we're here at Pendleside to help, and I'm sure there's family and friends as well that you can talk to. And it might be simple things like a phone call can make the world of difference and can just lift your mood. You know, trying to find those positive things to do, perhaps music to listen to, comedy shows that you enjoy watching, lots of stuff on YouTube, and if you on the television, on iPlayer, and various other catch-up ways of watching television now. You can watch, you know, a film that makes you smile, a comedy that makes you smile and laugh. Those can just help with our mood. Take care of yourself. Don't just take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health as well. So So try and eat well, try and have a good diet. It's very easy to say that, and there's lots of funny cartoons and things out there about us all coming out of lockdown an awful lot bigger than we were when we went in, because we're eating more cake and chocolates. But perhaps if we can, you know, a lot of baking is happening. There's too much baking happening in my house, and I have to try and balance that out. We're trying to get out for a good walk to help that along. So just be aware of your diet and eating well. It does make you feel better, and actually part of the, I was talking about planning and putting routine in, actually, you know, planning your menus and deciding what you want to eat, especially if you're not getting out and about and someone's having to do your shopping. That's actually a really great way of helping that along, of being able to make that shopping list by making sure you've got all the ingredients in. It might be that now's the time to try out some new recipe ideas that you'd never thought of before. You might have a go at a curry, but you know, make sure you've got that shopping list well written. So it's a really good way of fulfilling that as well. And avoid trying to stay still for too long. I've just mentioned the flipping problem with cake and chocolate. So if you can get up and move around, then do what you can. You know, if you can go out for a short walk, brilliant. If you're feeling you don't have the energy to do that, then some exercises at home. You know, we've got the daily exercises and the Zoom Tai Chi and sessions like that you can join in with, which are fantastic for you. So if you can join in with any of those, then that will help as well. But I'd probably say avoid Joe Wicks, because I understand, apart from being quite nice to look at for the ladies, his exercise sessions are quite hard work. So it might be best doing something more low-key than that. But there is, again, stuff on YouTube, exercises for those who can't get up and about very much, exercises for those that have, if you're not in the best of health and physical ability, there's stuff out there for you too. So just ask around, always ask us again at Pendleside. You can always find out, we'll try and help as much as we can. And finally, the final thing is just to talk about our sleep routine. I think we're going to do some more on this, but again, try and keep a good sleep routine. So try and get to bed at the same time every night if you can, and try and avoid too much the things that can make sleep difficult. But we do appreciate there's a lot of stuff out there that people are struggling a little bit with the sleep, just because we've had a massive change in routine. So the best way to help that is try and keep that getting up in the morning time, going to bed at night time the same, and try and avoid the normal triggers, which I think we're hoping to do in a longer session. You know, try not to have any alcohol close to bedtime, to caffeine, try not to eat late at night, trying to turn the TV off and do something quieter. Perhaps try one of our relaxation sessions, read a book, do a crossword, something that just isn't using that white light from the TV. So anyway, it's a very quick sort of 10, 12 minutes so of ideas and tips and hints to help you keep staying well. We hope you are, and hope to be able to see you face to face very soon at the hospice. And if you've got any queries or questions, please just ring us. If there's anything you want to ask me, you can just ask. You want to speak to Alison, the occupational therapist up at Pendleside, and I'll try and answer questions if I can. Take care of yourselves for now, and bye.